Welcome to Technoline Academy. In this lecture, we are going to discuss transform data. Transform data option is used in Power BI to make some changes in the already existing data. For example, we can change the data type of the column. We can add new column. We can create custom column. We can delete some column and so on. In order to use the transform data, go to home, then click on transform data. It will take us to the Power Query editor. And at the left side, we can see the list of all the tables available in the Power BI. From this list, we can select the table we want to make some changes. For example, this is the product table, and these are the columns of the product tables. And if I want to make some change in any of the columns of this product table, then first I will have to select the column. And after that, we can make some changes accordingly. One good part of Power Query Editor is that whatever action we will apply on the data, all the actions will be displayed in the applied section. Let's see how we can transform the data. For example, we have this color column, and in this color column, we have some null values, and we want to remove the null values. In order to remove the null values or filter the null values, we will select this drop down. Here we can see all the values available in this column. As we don't want the null value, so I will unclick null and click on OK. And now we can see that our table is filtered and we don't have any null value here. And if we look at the applied steps, a new steps has been added. If we want to roll back the changes, then we will simply click on this cross. And now we can see we have the null values again in our table. So this is how we can roll back the changes anytime. And if you don't want to roll back the changes, we simply want to clear the filter, then we will click on this drop down. From here, we will click on clear filter. The moment we click here, we can see we have cleared the filter and we have the null values again. This is how we can filter the data. Suppose we don't want any rows that contain black color, then we will simply uncheck and click on OK. And we can see that the data is filtered. We don't have any black color now. We will go back and clear the filter. Now, instead of applying filter and removing the rows that contain null values, we can simply replace rows. So for that purpose, we will click on this replace values. Here we have an option to replace the value. In value to find, I'll type null because we are going to replace null, and replace with, we can say no color. And now we will click on OK. Now we can see that the null value has been replaced with no color. So this is how we can replace the value of a column using this replace value option. It might happen that your headers are not aligned properly when you import the data from CSV or Excel files. We can see that the column headers are not aligned properly. The first row of this table is showing the column headers, which is not accurate. Instead of column headers, it is showing column 1, 2, 3 or so on. And my column headers is part of my row, which is not accurate. So if you got this trouble, then don't worry. Simply go to this option and from there use first row as header. And now we can see that our headers are aligned properly. So this is how you can fix the changes in your column header and you can align it properly. Power BI supports specific data types. And here we can see the list of all the data types that the Power BI support. For numeric data, we can use fixed decimal, decimal, and or whole number. For text, we can use this. For dates, we can use these data and so on. It's very important to note that the data type of the column of the table must be accurate. For example, if we look at the data type of the order quantity column, it shows ABC. That means the data type of this column is text, not numeric, which is quite inaccurate. Ideally, the data type of this column should be numeric, because if you want to perform some operations on this column, then those operations will not support this data type. So in order to move on, we must change the data type of this column. In order to change the data type of this column, first we will select the column, which is order quantity, and then we will go to the data type, and from I will select whole number. We can click on replace current step, or we can add new step. In this scenario, I will click on replace current. Wow, we can see that we have successfully changed the data type of this column, which is whole number now. Earlier it was text. So we have seen that how easily we can change the data type of any of the column, which is very important for performing certain operations on the data type of these tables.
We can delete the column from this table as per our requirement. For example, if we do not want this online order flag column, then we can simply delete this column. First, select the column, then go to this remove column option, and from there we can choose remove column. If we choose remove column option, then this column will be removed. If we choose second option, remove other columns, then this column will be there and other column will be removed from this table. There is one more option we can use to remove the columns. Go to this choose column option and then select choose columns. And now we can select the column as per our requirement. So if I do not want to keep some columns like on flag and this account number or purchase anything, if we do not want these columns, then we can simply uncheck and then we will click OK, and we'll see that the columns we have unchecked has been removed from this table. Now let's see how we can use the group by option in Power Query Editor. Group by option is used to group the data based on one or more columns. Group by provided us the aggregated data for each value of a particular column. For example, if we want the total sales for each sales order ID, then we can simply use the group by option. So first we will go to group by. Here we will find two options, basic and advanced. If we want to aggregate the data on a single column, then we can go to the basic. But if you want to aggregate the data on more than one column, then we can choose this advanced option. Now select sales order ID and now give a new column name, sale, total sales. If we expand this list, we can simply find all the aggregate functions available. For now, we will select sum because we want the sum of sales. And from this column list, we will simply select the total sales. And now we will click OK. And now we can see that the group by option has aggregated the sales amount on sales order ID. Now let's explore how to create a custom column in our table. Say we have two columns, order quantity and unit price, and we want to add a new column called total price. This column will contain the total price for each sales item, which we can calculate by multiplying the order quantity by the unit price for each item. Now to create a new column, go to add column and click on custom column. Now give your column a name such as total price. And now click on the formula tab, and here we can drag the columns we want to utilize to create the total price. So first I will select the unit price and then click on insert, and now press strict and now select order quantity and then again click on insert. Now we are going to multiply the unit price by the order quantity. We can check that we don't have any syntax error, and now I will click on OK. We can see that a new column as total price has been created in our table. This total price column is generated after multiplying the unit price by the order quantity for each sales item. For example, for this row number 4, total order quantity is 2 and the unit price of each sales item is this, and the total price after multiplying the order quantity with the price is this. It is very important to note that the data type of this column is not accurate. It is showing as ABC123. In order to change the data type, I will select this column. Then we will go to this data type option, and from there I can select this whole number. And now we can see the data type of this column is changed. So this is how we can create a custom column in our table using